There's what's called a single rider lane, and that is for single people.
Oh my god.
Let's try that again. In this trip, it was Manaia's first time, so we wanted to go all out. And so we did 7 different parks.
7 different parks.
In 6 days. I don't know if that's for everyone, but there's some things that we've learned and we want to share that with you. So hopefully you can learn something. Maybe you can save a buck or two. So here we go.
So we pull up to Universal and parking was super easy. Literally just drive through, pay for the parking. Parking was about 30 bucks. You pay a pretty penny for parking at all these parks. They're traveling with really small children like Manaia, who's only 34 inches tall. There wasn't a lot of rides that he could actually go on. But that's something to consider if you are taking smaller children. Most of the rides are like you have to either be 36 inches or 40 inches. And so he just missed the cut by 2 inches. That was kind of a bummer, but I think he did enjoy seeing the characters and watching the shows. Like
he went to the Kung Fu Panda one. He did Pets, Secret Life of Pets.
Super Silly Funland was definitely a highlight. He could actually go on a ride there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had those flying things.
I mean, that was pretty cool to see how they turned Despicable Me, like a park that's on the show or in the cartoon. They turned that into a real life park, and so that was super cool to see. I mean, they had the game thing with the gun, and then with the unicorn, the fluffy unicorn stuff. They had that there. But Manaia loved the water area.
We actually have actual footage of Mr. Aloha in full effect. He, of course, made friends on the water plate at the Super Silly Funland.
Put your kid in that water, let him have a blast. It's so fun. So the Jurassic World ride was pretty fun. I got to do that while Pua stayed with Manaia on the kids' play area. And so she allowed us to do that, and so that was fun. But I would recommend, which I didn't know at the time, if you can, there's what's called a single rider lane, and that is for single people.
Oh my god.
Let's try that again. So they have what's called a single rider lane. And if you don't mind getting split up from your party, it goes by so much faster, like maybe a quarter of the time. And if you don't mind, I mean, I think if we knew about it, we probably would have done that. I mean, you gotta go individually, and they'll just fit you in where there's space. But if you don't mind that, man, I would highly recommend that. Jump on that, and they might have that for different attractions in the park. But that was just one of the things that I noticed. And so if you don't mind that single rider lane, check it out. How would you rate the food?
Snacks were great. We had popcorn,
Fries,
soda, probably.
Soda.
And we got one of these babies. And this actually at Universal started a trend for us throughout the whole trip. So what you do is when you buy one of these, what do you call it?
Souvenir.
Park souvenir cups. You can refill it all day long. At Universal, you need your receipt though. But you can refill it all day long. And it costs like 18 bucks. But if you're refilling it all day long, you get your money's worth. And we knew we were going to be there 2 days because we did a buy one day, get 1 day free thing. So we thought this was a good investment, but it was really good.
The taste of things, I think the soda was mixed well. Some places weren't, so we'll go into that later on. But for Universal, I think the soda was good there. Some of the snacks were good. The thing that wasn't good was some of the food. I mean, I should have known better. I got a chicken tenders, and I'm expecting some good tasting chicken tenders, but it was like flat pancakes, almost like they pounded it, and then it was like pure breading. I'm just eating breading.
I also got a very fishy Caesar salad.
Yeah, so the food not too good, but I will recommend. Okay, this is a recommendation. If you're wanting good food, eat at the City Walk. City Walk has tons of shops and good food places. There's tons of different food spots. Check it out, either before or after you go in.
Another tip for when you're traveling to these amusement parks with small children, bring a stroller. They are not going to last if you don't. Yeah, Manaia was in and out of his stroller the whole time. But one thing we also saw with other families who were there was wagons. And we didn't even know you could bring wagons like that. And yeah. But also, if you're not using the stroller to carry your kid, everybody's putting their stuff in there. So if you got young kids, even if you think they'll be walking majority of the time, bring the stroller anyway.
Bring the stroller. Don't regret it. Don't get chewed out by your wife saying, "Why didn't you bring the stroller?" Just do it. I did it.
Yeah. We brought ours. So after we did the first day at Universal, we trekked it down, heading from Hollywood, Universal Studios to Disney, Anaheim. And so it was about an hour and a half drive. We were going to the Oogie Boogie Bash, which is a Halloween themed event that they did, that we got tickets for. Manaia was free. Actually, we forgot to mention that Manaia was free for all these parks because he's under 3. So if you're traveling with kids under 3, you're gonna save some money.
So Disney parking was easy. Their system was just flawless. Of course, you're paying for it. It's about the same as Universal, so be prepared for that. But as far as like the flow of things, they're good at it, and there's a lot of parking. So
once we get into California Adventure Park for the Oogie Boogie Bash, we're actually meeting my family for the first time there. And so when we first got there, we were like waiting for all the big kids to go on this one ride. And I was like, okay, I think we're gonna go find something for Manaia to ride. And also my other nephew.
Manaia loved going on the rides, especially the meter. What is it called? Meters
something. It was
Meters
in Cars.
something. I don't know the name, but he loved that ride. So that's the biggest pro or takeaway from this whole trip was really for that moment, like him enjoying this ride, like, oh, this is what it's about.
So some of the rides that Manaia could actually go on, there was actually a lot. He rode at least 5. But the first one was the Mater one. The second one was the Luigi. Another one in the Cars Land. Then we went over by the Ferris wheel, and there was the Inside Out ride there. We also went on the Ferris wheel with him. And then what was that? Toy Story.
Toy Story. Yeah.
We went on the Toy Story ride. He enjoyed that one. It was like shooting. It was like a shooting game. And
it's one of those glasses you wear.
Oh yeah, 3D glasses. Yeah. He was trying to figure out what they were for at first, but he figured it out and he put them on.
So I was surprised at how many rides there were on the California side, because most of the smaller kid rides are on the Disney side, but they had a good amount.
I think for us, one thing we would do differently is spend a little more time there.
Yeah.
We didn't get to actually walk through the whole park. Because we got there so late and we only had about 4 or 5 hours.
I think for us, we'd probably spend more time at Disneyland in itself, right? Maybe like do a 2-day thing. I think that would have been good.
Another pro about Disney is they 100% of all the parks we went to have the best churros.
Best churros.
Oh my gosh. The other churros were just so disappointing. Because the first time we had a churro was at California Adventure. And we had that one. And then we tried the other ones after. And it just was a disappointment. So Disney has the best churros.
I would venture to say Disney has the best food. I mean, we had popcorn, we had churros, we had
Oh, my stepmom got like a
it
clam
had like
chowder.
a clam chowder bowl thing.
In a
That
bread
thing
bowl?
was good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We didn't even order food for ourselves. We were just like sharing with everybody. The only thing we got was a bucket of popcorn.
Popcorn was good.
Popcorn and soda was like the staple.
The soda was good. And why am I saying this? You'll find out in the next parks, okay?
Yeah.
But Disney soda was great. That's the only place we didn't get a souvenir cup. But the other thing I would also recommend is they had these light up balloons. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Manaia would love this light up balloon. He probably enjoyed it for about the first couple minutes that he had it. And then after that, it was just kind of a nuisance. we kept trying not to hit people with the balloon because the thing was so long. And so I would recommend skipping that. I don't think it's worth it. It's more of a hassle than something your kids will enjoy. And like I said, Manaia loved all the other stuff. So I think I'd probably skip that for the next time.
All right, well, that's all we have time to discuss today. But we do have part 2 coming up. You don't want to miss it. We got more parks to discuss. We got more experiences, more travel tips, all of those things. And so make sure you stay tuned.
And like and subscribe so that way you're notified next week when it comes out. Right away, you can be the first one to watch it or the first one to comment on it. Well, until next time, aloha.